So I know people are getting excited. I know a lot of people are getting excited talking about altcoin season, talking about Bitcoin is about to roll over. Bitcoin dominance is about to roll over. I don't think it's time yet. I really don't think it's time. I'm watching the NASDAQ. I'm watching the S&P. I'm watching gold hit all-time highs. And we're watching Bitcoin go sideways to down. That is not the sign of a healthy crypto market, not at this point in the cycle. But right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 111,410. Ethereum is sitting at 4,316. We have XRP at $2.95, still under that pivotal $3 level. And we have Solana at 218, BNB at 881, Dogecoin at 24. We haven't talked about Dogecoin a lot. We'll do a Dogecoin video soon. Cardano sitting at 87. Hype sitting at 53. That's one we've been talking about. That's one that's been on our radar. But we have been watching the S&P, like I talked about. We've been watching the NASDAQ sitting at all-time highs, hitting all-time highs. The S&P, all-time highs. Dow, all-time highs. And, of course, gold hitting all-time highs, sitting above 3,600. So what am I looking at? So first and foremost, this is what happened today. And we got that news that the 911,000 jobs were overstated over the past year from, I think, April of 2024 to March of 2025. So almost a million jobs were taken away from the data. And this just goes to show that the labor market, the overall economy is not as strong as they've been saying. Both administrations, the economy is not as strong as they've been saying, even with the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, basically gold, Bitcoin, all sitting at all-time highs. So the wealth gap is widening. This is not what we're going to talk about in this video, but the wealth gap is and will continue to widen. This is why we preach to buy crashes, because these crashes will not last long when they come, as we've been seeing over the past few months. So what am I looking at right now for Bitcoin? Let's actually go to the liquidation heat map, and then we'll talk about the Bitcoin chart. So right now, what I'm looking at is some liquidity sitting at about 110K. So right now, like I said, we're sitting at 111.5. I could see a move down to 110,000 for Bitcoin. So let's go over to the charts. And then I want to show you something I want to show you some data that we want to continue to look at going towards the tail end of September, going into October, because I do think the market will start to heat up, especially with the stocks and gold rallying. It's inevitable that Bitcoin will potentially or will get a rally at some point in the near future. But like I said, right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 104,000. And we have our three levels that we've been talking about, so we're not going to talk about them too much. We have 112,000, we have 116,000, and then 120,000. We want to break 120,000, hold that, and then I think we'll rally 130, 140, 150, somewhere in that area. I got 136 to 150. That's my cycle top prediction. You heard it here first. 136. I'll say 136 on the low end, 150 on the high end. If we go higher, even better. But that's my prediction. I usually don't say predictions. I usually don't give price predictions, but I'm giving one today. And it's a range. Of course, it's a range. We can't pinpoint it. You know, if you can pinpoint it, then you'll be a billionaire. If you could time tops and bottoms, if you knew what tops and bottoms were specifically. So we'll give you a range of 136 to 150 for Bitcoin. But first and foremost, we have to get back above 112. We have to get back in that range of 116 to 120, and then inevitably stay above 120 to make our final push, our final short-term push for the cycle top. I'm thinking, like I said, 136 to 150. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. But what I'm looking at, once we do start to move forward, once we do start to get a little bit higher and a little bit, the market starts to get frothy again, make sure you guys come over to the Cool Kids Alpha Club. This is where I give my real-time news, thoughts, charts, analysis, trade setups, all the whole nine. So make sure you guys come over. Link will be in the pinned comments. So the total 2, the total 3, and others. This is what I'm looking at in order to gauge where we're sitting at for this cycle and how high we make and go for some of these, not only the overall market cap, but for the altcoin market cap as well. So let's look at that. So remember this, we'll bounce back and forth. So let's go to the total market cap first and foremost. So let's scroll on down. Let's find the total market cap. So what we're looking at for the total market cap right now, we're sitting at 3.83 trillion. So we have a little bit of resistance above us for the actual total market cap at 4 trillion. We jumped above 4 trillion. We got the 4.17 trillion. What day was this? This was last month, mid last month. So I am looking for a breakout. Hopefully, what I don't want to see, and this would be bad, what I don't want to see is we have a shoulder, we have a head. I don't want to see this roll over. You know what I mean? And boom. I don't want to see nothing like that. I want to see a breakout. I definitely want to see something possibly going back up, creating some sort of a higher low here, getting back above here. Then I think we can really, really shoot for a nice high number. And what am I looking at? Let's pull a fib here. From this high to this low, we can get a little bit of information about how high we can go. So on the low end, I'm looking at 4.61 trillion. That would be an all-time high for the total market cap of 4.61 trillion. If we get super duper frothy and if the market just starts to really rally and, you know, a little bit of retail comes back, I think we can get up to about 6 trillion. A lot of people saying we can get to 10. I don't think 10 this cycle. I don't think 10, we're getting to 10 this cycle. I would say anywhere between 4, 5, and 6, somewhere in this area. Even if we got up here, this would be the high end, this would be the low end. Even if we got up to here, this would be pretty good. But I really want to see somewhere in this area here for the total market cap. So this is the total amount of money in crypto. This is what we're looking at. And this is what we mean when we say the total market cap. Next, I want to look at total too. So this is excluding Bitcoin. So this is ETH, altcoins, and stable coins. So let's look and see what we will be looking at for total 2. So right now, total 2 minus Bitcoin is sitting at 1.6 trillion. So this is sitting right at a resistance level. So if we pull a fib here, pull that from the high to the low, now we hit our first target coming in at, like I said, 1.65 trillion. Our next one will be at 2.16 trillion, and this would be for stable everything but Bitcoin. The total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So this would mean that, I mean, it could mean that we're rallying with altcoins, but it also includes stable coins. So this one I take with a little bit of grain of salt. But as long as we're moving up, like if we look over here, this was when the rally started. This rally was at the end of the year 2024 when we had the election and things were going nuts. So it does play a significant role looking at this to gauge where we are in a cycle or where we are in the altcoin cycle. So right now, I mean, it's still going up. Altcoins are not really going like they were back here, but the total market cap has went up. So now we'll need some sort of a breakout, possibly going to 2.2 trillion in order to start getting those massive altcoin moves. And then we have total 3. So what's total 3? Let's go back over here to our chart, to our table. It says total 3 is everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So I think this is really when, you know, things start getting really fun for the total 3. So if we look at total 3 right now, we're sitting at 1.08 trillion. So we're destined to break out from this one, hopefully. Again, we talked about this with the total 2. So total 3, let's actually do another pull. Let's pull another one from the top to the bottom, and let's see how high. So our first stop will be 1.16 trillion, and then we're looking at 1.47 trillion. And then possibly coming into 1.66 trillion. And this is everything. This is total 3. This is everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So this is altcoins and stable coins. So this is pure altcoins, others. This is what we want to look at, because I think this one will determine once we start getting those really high flying mid to low caps. So we want to keep our eye out on others if we want to see how frothy the mid to low caps get. So if we go back over here, let's go back to our chart. So others, this one is sitting at only 315 billion. So we can look at our spikes. We had a spike here at the end of the bull run. We had a spike here when this happened, when Trump got elected and markets went nuts, the crypto market went nuts. So what we're looking at right now, I mean, we can come down if Bitcoin starts to take the dominance away from all the altcoins again. Looks like we can come down to about 256 billion, make a higher low. We have a low, a higher low, make another higher low here. Something like I said, coming in at 2.56 billion. And then we can make a move coming into about 500 billion and possibly higher. But we see our peaks came in around 500 billion for each one of our rallies. So this was the end of the 2021 bull run. This was when we got Trump elected and altcoins were going crazy. Mid caps, low caps were going crazy. So if you want to make a lot of money, you want to watch this others. Once you see this start to break out, you know it's time to really start getting or going down the risk curve when it comes to the crypto market. So that's just pretty much, that's not really an in-depth analysis. I think I'm going to do a super in-depth one in the Telegram. Make sure you guys come over, guys and girls, come over to the Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Club. Link will be in the pinned comment and in the description. We're just watching to see what happens in the overall market with Bitcoin. Like I said, we will be looking for possibly a move back down to about 110 and a bounce. And we got that off the liquidation heat map. We have a lot of liquidity. We have $91 million worth of $91 million worth of liquidations. No, we have $150 million worth of liquidations down at 110,000. So be on the lookout for some sharp move down there if you're looking for some sort of a trade and then possibly a bounce. And then last but not least, probably looking at this bear down here. If we lose this line, if we lose this upper sloping trend line that we pulled all the way back from September of 2023, that's when I think the bull run started. We came up, retested it, came up again, retested it again. Everybody said we were going to $1 million. Came back. What did we do? Retested this line at 74K. So I'll be looking at this line that let me know if this is a bull or bear market. And then this is the last line in the sand if we lose this 87 to 90K area for the crypto market. So that's just going in accordance with watching everything, watching what Bitcoin does, watching what the total market cap, the total 2, total 3 charts, and just everything. So last but not least, let's actually kind of everywhere on this video, but we are watching Bitcoin dominance. We want Bitcoin dominance to continue to go up. I mean, this is altcoin season. We want altcoin season, but we don't want altcoin season yet. We want Bitcoin dominance. We want Bitcoin to start shooting back up above all-time highs. We want Bitcoin dominance to start getting back above this 59% level, possibly getting back up to the 60% level to make some sort of a lower high here. We had a high here back in the early parts of July. We want to make some sort of a lower high, possibly around 60 to 62%. Then we want to see a rollover. Hopefully, if we're up here, we get Bitcoin at about 100 and back to all-time highs, somewhere between 130, 140, 150. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 60 to 62, 63%. Then a rollover. Then all those charts that we talked about a little bit earlier will play a huge significant role in helping you navigate where to put your money at that specific time, because that's really what those charts do. They tell you what's going on in the market. Basically a guide, a total market cap, seeing if we go higher, that's good for the overall market. Then we have the total 2, everything excluding Bitcoin, and we have the total 3, everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. Then we have the others. That's when you go further down the risk curve. When you're looking to go further down the risk curve, you look for that others chart to start to break out. So that's just a quick glimpse of what I'm looking at over the next month, because I do think Bitcoin will start to rally going towards the tail end of September, possibly going to October. Hopefully, if everything plays out the way we want it or the way we have seen it play out in the past, that will happen. And we'll be ready. We'll be ready for a couple different scenarios. And like I said, we'll be in the Telegram and we'll be on YouTube pretty much every day, giving you our news, charts, analysis, trade setups, real-time thoughts, and just trying to help navigate this crazy market in these crazy times. So this is FD White. Appreciate you if you made it this far. Please make sure you like, subscribe. I appreciate everybody. I got over 2,400 subscribers yesterday, so I appreciate all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Peace.